John, where are we?
Chicago, Illinois.
Why are we here?
We're here to film 2 podcast episodes, one with Mike Bonamarte of Levin and Perconti, one with Rob Levine Injury Lawyers. And squeezed in between those 2 podcasts, I'm going to be presenting at the Legal Ascend Mastermind group. That's the mastermind group that Rob Levine runs. There's a bunch of lawyers all across the country who come here to Chicago for Rob's mastermind group. Be great. I'm presenting for an hour and a half. Topic is AI, SEO, marketing, but we're covering a bunch of really interesting AI things. I even finished the presentation, as you know, on the plane. We were running some tests over the weekend trying to see what was changing. We're in the middle of the spam update. There's just all kinds of things that are going on right now. So we are going to be talking about exactly what's happening right now.
Sweet. It's going to be an absolutely slam-packed day tomorrow. We're going to be recording everything, so follow along.
And where are we heading to right now?
We are heading to dinner with the team. We have about 10 of us. Everyone that lives in and around Chicago. Every city we go to, if we have any employees there, we always make it a #1 priority to get together, have some food, have a good time.
So here we are downtown. We ate at RPM Seafood last night. We're across the street, did not even realize. And here we are now in the offices, and your office is beautiful. This is one of the most tech-forward firms that, unless you get to walk through these doors and see it, you really don't know that this is happening here.
As a person who came from like high tech, this is very like reminiscent of like a SaaS company's office, not the traditional like law firm's office that we go visit.
Well, I think that I am very appreciative that you noticed that. We were on the 4th floor of the same building. We had about 10,000 square feet. We were growing at the time. We've continued to grow, and we were sort of just running out of space for everybody. So this space, which is the floor below, became open. You know, the only slight regret is we signed a 10-year lease in January of 2020 and moved in, and then the world shut down, but I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. And obviously we've been back in full time since, and it's just a great space, great location right on the river.
All right, so we just left Levin Perconti, did an amazing podcast interview with Mike Bonamarte. Can't wait for you guys to catch that one if you haven't seen it already. And we are headed back to the Intercontinental Hotel. We're gonna go have lunch with Rob Levine's mastermind group, and then in about an hour, presenting there. And we just keep chugging along.
The day continues, onward.
AI is not what you actually think it is. AI has adopted the persona of a person. The Turing test is now well far behind us, and it is very difficult to tell whether you're talking to a human or you are talking to a machine. AI builds upon that trust and effectively puts itself out there to you as if you were communicating with a person. There's a bunch of lawsuits right now against a platform called Character.ai, where you can choose a persona and you can communicate with that persona. So Character AI allows you to make believe you're speaking to a character from Lord of the Rings, or you're talking to a character from The Simpsons, or you can just build a persona of whatever you want. That is not what's actually happening, okay? AI, if you're gonna boil it down, is really just pattern recognition. It has been trained on millions and billions and trillions of things, and it has learned the difference between A and B, an apple and an orange, a glass of milk and a bottle of beer. It has seen enough examples of those things to understand the nuances and the differences. Milk is white, traditionally. Beer is traditionally in a bottle or a can. But when it sees these things thousands and millions and billions of times, it starts to learn. However, If there's not enough out there in the ether for it to understand the difference between those things, that's where AI does what we call hallucinate. It makes stuff up. It fills in the blanks. It's doing it less and less nowadays as the models keep getting more and more advanced, but always keep that in your mind. You are lawyers, or you work for a law firm, and you are responsible for what you do with client information. You're responsible for what you put out there in public record. Everything that comes through AI is not polished and ready to go.
We're here today with the one and only heavy hitter, Rob Levine. We're actually in Chicago for Rob Levine's Mastermind group, which we just got done with day one downstairs. Rob, thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Having run a mastermind group of your own, let's start with this. Why did you choose to start a mastermind group?
So the truth is probably about giving back. I joined my first mastermind group. I've been a lawyer for 25 years, so it's got to be close to 20 years, probably 5 years in. So I've been literally consistently in mastermind groups for 20 years. And I can say without a doubt, I would not be where I am if it wasn't for being in a mastermind group.